Hare Krishna. Challenging the very foundations of materialistic living. Srila Prabhupada was named Abhay Charan at birth, which means one who is fearless, having taken shelter at the feet of God. A biographical study of Srila Prabhupada's life reveals the prophetic significance of his name, the fulfillment of a fearless determination to spread his message all over the world. The qualities of meekness and humility that characterise transcendentalists are not to be misconstrued as weakness. A self-realized spiritual master of the calibre of Srila Prabhupada engages fearlessly in presenting sublime truths. The fearlessness referred to here is not a reckless and careless pursuit of action with disregard to consequences. On the contrary, Srila Prabhupada was quite convinced of the success of the instructions of his predecessor, teachers, and Lord Krishna. He had unflinching trust in the Supreme Lord. Srila Prabhupada taught that the essential cause of fear and anxiety is a lack of understanding of the nature of reality. Our attachments and perceived laws which occur in the mind are actually illusory. A person who learns this begins to be free from unnecessary mental anguish. So fearless was Srila Prabhupada that at age 69, he begged a passage on a steamship to the United States of America. Despite suffering 2 heart attacks during the journey, he arrived in Boston Harbor full of optimism that he would be successful. Thus began Srila Prabhupada's fearless preaching in the West about the fallacy of materialistic consciousness and the superiority of loving devotional service to God. He criticized leaders and politicians for their lack of morality and God consciousness, often commenting that when the blind lead the blind, the entire society falls into a ditch. Once he remarked to his disciples, "If they only knew what I was doing, they would imprison me." This is certainly an indictment upon the materialistic culture of the world that regards any critic of its hedonistic pursuits as a threat. Unabashedly challenge leaders of other spiritual traditions to delve deeply into the original teachings of their traditions and rectify compromises and mistakes in their practice. He challenged the modern education system as promoting a materialistic culture and referred to university education as slaughterhouse education, likening it to cattle lining up for a disastrous fate. During Srila Prabhupada's stay in Calcutta in India, a militant group felt his preaching was undermining the admission of communism. They distributed his programs and threatened to kill him. Srila Prabhupada refused to be intimidated and asked to meet them. Speaking with a group of initial hostile youths, he explained to them the Vedic concept of communism with Krishna at the center, and they eventually left with a promise not to cause any more disruptions. His fearlessness is encapsulated in his statement, "Even if they were to attack me, what better way for a Vaishnava to leave this body than while preaching the glories of the Lord?" The greatest symptom of his fearlessness was in conquering the fear of death and teaching his followers to do the same. Srila Prabhupada explained that the living entity's fear of death is due to his false ego of identifying with the body. Everyone is afraid of death. Actually, there is no death for the spirit soul. When one is fully convinced he is not his body, there is no question of fearing death, since the spirit soul does not die. If the spirit soul engages in the spiritual activities of devotional service, he is completely freed from the platform of birth and death. His next position is complete spiritual freedom from a material body. Thank you. For more videos, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hare Krishna.